introduce Dana Versola of Versola Landscape Maintenance up in Santa Barbara, California. I really respect Dana. We want to let everyone know that AGZA does not leave anybody behind, whether you're a single operator or you're a large company, a municipality. We're here for everyone and to make sure that you have the information that is entitled to you. Dana, are you with us?
Yes, sir. Hello, everyone. Glad to be here.
Okay, Dana, you are our California Core program, and this, of course, run through the California Air Resources Board. You are our first official case study. The reason why we didn't have one before is we wanted to let some time go by, Dana, after you purchased the tools through the program, and then come to you and just ask you questions and present what it is you're doing. So please introduce yourself, your company, and how you got involved with AGZA and some of the stuff we've been doing.
Sure. Thanks for having me, Dan, and thanks, Roger. I use steel equipment. That's my choice. What had happened was I contacted AGZA, and Dan had answered, and he got with me and he shared about the core program. And I found my local vendor, and I got into the voucher program, and I got the training. Here's my badge of honor right here, my certificate. Just to share, everything went really smoothly. The steel dealer that I deal with here in Santa Barbara was very helpful. I was one of the first guys to go there through the program, and I got processed through. I think I was the first small business person to get through here. I learned a lot from the class, gas versus electric, a lot I didn't know. I had worked for municipalities, for the county, for the city, about 32 years, and I've been doing gardening for almost 40 years. What Roger was saying, I started in the 70s, so I remember the gas power and all that stuff. I remember actually as I got older, because I'm 56, when I retired, and then 3 years ago, I started my own business. So I remember, using all the gas equipment, the smell. I even actually got like a hearing deficiency because I was using the old PB 400 backpack blowers back in the day. Now that I'm older and I'm using the transitioning to the electric, they're a lot lighter, they're more powerful. The commercial brands, the steel that I use is very comparable to the gas, like Roger was showing. I'm comfortable with it, with all the years of my field experience and working with myself and, working for municipalities and other businesses. I'm happy where things are now, that everything what Dan had shared, with his experience and testing all this. And it's really helped us now where we're at in this season of using electric equipment is very helpful. And us moving forward, like Roger was sharing, like a lot of the younger people don't know what a lot of us had to experience, where we're going forward now, with, the green, sustainable, and where we're headed with electric versus gas. The education and training was very helpful. It was really, I took the test online, no problem. A lot of that stuff was, I had learned in, all the years I've been doing landscape maintenance. And as a small business owner, this was all new to me, but it really was helpful for where I'm at now. And I really appreciate, the program was very not as hard as I thought it would be. The vendors that I used here in Santa Barbara, the steel were very helpful. And like I said, they helped myself and a lot of other gardeners that I know. Actually, I encouraged them, and they actually went through. So I was kind of like the first one here where I'm at. So
Dana, I have a question for you. So
yes, sir.
so we know that the core program lowered the cost by 70%. Can you just let us know what that meant to coming out of the institutional setting into the private setting? Now you know you're your own boss, all of that. You're a startup. You didn't want to just start a typical gas business up. I remember our first conversation.
Hmm.
Um, how how important was it to have that program in place to lower the higher upfront cost of battery?
Well, to answer your question, Dan, I mean, I couldn't never have done it without the core program paying the 70%. And then, being retired and, having, my income and just starting out. But I was able, to do it, because of the core program, and like you had talked about earlier on the videos, as far as the cost, of the battery, equipment and all that stuff. A lot of us could, it's hard, transition. Like I live in an apartment, and I lock my stuff up where I live, and I was experiencing a lot of that. There was a lot of theft going on where I am now. Even though I have a van, I still lock all my stuff because they know I have all electric equipment. So I,
It's like and like here your van and by the way, AGZA has a the AGZA van is actually an NV 2500 high roof. It's very ugly, but look, here's the van. This is great, but yes, it's an advertisement. Especially if you advertise electric, hey, come over here. I have batteries in here. So definitely, we're happy to hear that you're storing those batteries in a safer place and responsibly, safely. So we're going to go through the slides you sent over and just please in a few words articulate the slide. Can you see yourself there using two of these
let me
blowers
see.
at once?
Do I have to go to a different screen? Let me see.
Okay. Yeah. This is the slide where you're holding two blowers.
Oh yeah, that's one of my larger accounts, and that's my friend I have me help at once in a while. Yeah, he has the both handhelds, and he's a big guy. It makes him feel strong. But
And then yeah.
with that handheld is very powerful, and that actually where that it's a church. It's really big parking lot. There's a lot of trees, and even like when you had showed when like it during the fall when the leaves are wet and everything, they're really very powerful and and manageable. And now with the battery life, and I had upgraded to the AP 500, and I used the quad charger, and we kind of got a system, that when we were working, so it works out great.
Nice. And then the next one, thank you for that, Dana. The next one is we're glad to see you took the safety portion of the course seriously. You're wearing basically the safety visor doing the heavy weed whipping, and you still have hearing protection because we want to recommend hearing protection even with the use of electric tools because the sound is much louder for the operator, even though it's much quieter than gas. But this is an example of you wearing your neon safety vest. You have your safety shield on, and then, of course, eyewear underneath that, and then hearing protection. This is a great picture you sent over and a great example for everyone.
Thank you. Yeah, a lot of those years of the municipalities had a lot of training, and it was just natural for me when I started on my own, to have all the safety equipment, all my PPE, my personal protective equipment, and it really helped me, as a small business owner, to continue doing that.
I really like it because you don't see that with small business owners. It's just not it's not a normal site. Just as you said, it's more like an institutional, and you're setting a great example for everyone out there. Thank you. So this next slide, Dana, is the slide where there is just a huge hedge that you obviously use battery to do. All of the clippings are on the ground, of course, but can you just describe that workload and how many batteries it took, onboard batteries it took to handle that given workload that we're looking at here?
Well, that took me a couple of hours. That's in one of the it's called Hope Ranch here in Santa Barbara. I was blessed to get that account. It's in a really nice area. I was hired there to do the hedges, and I used the quad charger, and I think I went through probably maybe four, on the one setting.
Okay.
Um, but the cool thing is because I'm actually ordered the extended one, the electric one. So I had the one that I can't remember was the 6 foot one. So I held it with the battery like this, and I trimmed because I could reach it. But because they're so light, it's not like with the gas, you couldn't do that. Especially, at my age now, I'll be 60 next year. And I was able to, do it safely and trim, just kind of walk and pace myself. But yeah, I think I used the 4 with the quad charger, and I had the AP 500s, which lasted longer. And I was educated when I was watching when Roger did the presentation, the difference between the newer style and how they're made. And yeah.
Yeah, no, you got those AP 500s, which are cradle to grave cycle life, are going to last so much longer, and the cost of operation is significantly lower with electric across the board. Everyone, AGZA can safely say that it's going to be 1/4 the operating cost of their gas counterparts. Dana, we're going to go over. We're looking at where you bundle everything up in a tarp. That is a really nice concept there, if you will. It kind of lends to more of a lower impact type of operation. So, how often do you have to bundle everything up, and where are you able to take it? Is this a situation where you have to take the stuff off of the property, and are there situations, hopefully, where you can just put it into the bins or somewhere on the property?
Yeah, Dan, what had happened in that situation, we had gotten a medical building. It was a newer building, and it was a garage where you go in, and it was 3 stories. And they had landscaping on the roof, and then they had a second story. So we had to go from the ground floor, where I took that picture in my van, it's under that garage. We had to tarp a lot of the stuff because it was the one-time cleanup when I first started, because after construction and the landscaping had been planted, everything was overgrown. So we had to go in there and trim everything. So we're like, how are we going to get everything from the top floor down below? So we tarped everything, and we had to go through the stairs in the medical building because we couldn't use the elevator. So we had to tarp it down, and they had a green bin down in the bottom. So we're able to do that there.
Dana, what a great place to be using electric at a medical building, where people uh, could be ailing from something, and you're providing quieter, zero emission environments for them while the work is being done. That was great to hear that you're doing that, especially there. Um, the next one is just it really demonstrates the level of client you have, and it looks like that they have a very high expectation, aesthetic expectation, if you will. Would you say across the board, your clients really, they would have the same aesthetic expectation, regardless if you're using gas or electric?
Yes, I think that's the one where it was this one lady who lived in a condo, and she had told me what she wanted, and it was, she had a certain design in her backyard. Is that the one?
That is the one.
Yeah. And it was just she was very articulate in particular what she wanted, and it had been overgrown, and we had went in there and cleaned it up. And because of the condo and stuff, because all my equipment's electric, people were surprised because it was quieter. Everyone's expecting 2 cycle equipment and all that, and I know a lot of the customers really like it in a lot of accounts that I do, especially the residential. And to add what you had said about the commercial, especially under the garage, because it's electric. I can imagine, using the gas, it would have been really amplified and loud and all that. But um, kind of the cool thing, we do it on Saturdays when no one's there, but for that reason. But I mean, when we use the electric under in the garage, it's much quieter, as opposed to using the gas.
And Dana, just to hit it home, are clients letting you off the hook on delivering what they normally expect? Or are they saying, this is great, you're using electric, but I still want my yard looking exactly like it always has when the gas crews have come?
Well, there's nothing but, I mean, kudos, and a lot of them like it. They like the electric equipment. A lot of them actually have EVs, and they're going in that direction. They like it. They kind of prefer it as opposed to the gas. And it's pretty much the same. I mean, just like when you have to use more batteries as opposed to the power that the gas has, but it's comparable, like in Roger had shown. So myself, I there's a very little difference between the gas, but I really like that they're quieter, they're powerful. I mean, especially now, the newer commercial is really good, commercial grade. And the years I've worked with gas and electric, right now where we're at, the equipment's it's really good and durable, and I enjoy using it.
Well, everyone, you're hearing it from a veteran right here. We're going to skip to the last one where you've mowed a lawn, and I believe you're using a Husqvarna mower there.
Yeah, I had got one just to try it. The still's much lighter, but this one's kind of comparable. I know a lot of guys will understand that when you used to use the Honda commercial, everyone had that real heavy, big Honda, with it had the vacuum and all that. But the Husqvarna actually is comparable. It's heavy, but it worked. And actually, that job there, they had just put in new sod, so it came out really good. And yeah, yeah.
Awesome. Well, we're wrapping it up here. Dana, thank you so much for taking time out of your workday, leaving early and coming to join us and share your experiences as a small business operator and how you got started and how things are going.